Hello and welcome. I'm here today with our good friend and partner, Mark Yaxley of Strategic Wealth Preservation. And what we'd like to do is we're going to go through a series of videos where we talk about specific aspects of storing precious metals offshore, generally and specifically with strategic wealth preservation. So welcome, Mark.
Hey, Rich. It's great to be here with you.
Great to have you. First off, let's start right at the top. Why on earth would people want to go offshore in the first place?
Well, I think it's a little bit of a two-part answer as to why people consider going offshore. The first part is they're generally motivated by something that they're fearful of or that they're losing sleep over. There's a root concern, and that could be something like the actions of the government in the jurisdiction where they live. It could be with regards to the amount of privacy that they have in terms of their investments or personal information, or it could just be an issue with physical security. So that's generally what gets the conversation going or why they begin to research their options for offshore storage. And then beyond that, there are the distinct advantages of the offshore jurisdiction. So if there are advantages beyond what they can find in their own home jurisdiction, then they might consider moving their gold or silver offshore.
Gotcha. Now, just offshore, period, define it. You know, when I think of offshore, I think of a offshore drilling well or something, drilling rig. What does offshore mean? Do you have to be offshore?
Well, I don't think there's necessarily a black and white definition of what an offshore jurisdiction are, because some of the best offshore jurisdictions are actually landlocked. So I don't think it doesn't necessarily have to be an island. In our case, we are based in the Cayman Islands, which is the truest definition, I guess you could say, of offshore. But I think really the basic understanding here is that it's a country that is completely separate from your home country. In this case, most of your clients probably being American. So it's a country outside of the United States that has its own government and its own laws and regulation, and a place where the U.S. Does not have any jurisdiction in terms of laws or overreach. That's really the most important distinction.
Got it. What are some of the benefits of going offshore? Plain and simple. Why would somebody do that?
So again, it kind of goes back to the root concern. So if you're trying to address a privacy concern, so if your biggest concern is, I don't want, Uncle Sam or any government knowing more than they have to, more than that's required by law about my investment, then you're going to look for an offshore jurisdiction that can offer you privacy. So for example, down in Cayman, we are a regulated business, but we don't have any wealth reporting requirements to our local government or to any foreign government. So that means we don't have to tell the government or the IRS, for example, what our clients are depositing and storing in our facilities. So again, that's one advantage of an offshore jurisdiction, is it should add privacy for the investor. Another clear advantage is that you're achieving geo-diversification. And I know it's something you've talked about a lot with your clients over the years. I probably learned that expression from you when I first met ASI back in the day. So obviously, if you are concerned about your home jurisdiction and you want to hedge against any risks that are perceived there, you can diversify into these offshore jurisdictions. And we both agree that diversification is just a great strategy in general.
I was going to say, no two ways about it. For 39 years now, we've been preaching about the three-legged stool, right? Not having all your assets in any one currency, in any one country, or in any one asset class or investment. The benefits your portfolio gets in terms of insulation or protection from jurisdictional diversification, currency diversification, and asset class diversification, I don't think can be beat. It's better than any structure you can set up offshore, in my opinion.
I absolutely agree. And the final point, Rich, I think is really important for people to know about is that by moving offshore, they're not compromising the things that they're used to and that they enjoy about their homeland. In this case, again, the United States. In the Cayman Islands, for example, you're still dealing with a country that accepts US dollars. You're still dealing with a country that, the primary language is English. You're still dealing with an educated workforce. So these conveniences that we're used to wherever we come from, we don't necessarily have to expect that they're going to be diminished in an offshore jurisdiction. So that's something important for people to remember as well.
No, that's a good point. So strategic wealth preservation is one great way to diversify your assets by storing your precious metals offshore. Thanks, Mark. I really appreciate you taking the time to clarify that for our clients. Appreciate it.
Anytime, Rich.
All right, for those of you who would like to go ahead and store some metal in the Caymans with Mark and the folks at Strategic Wealth Preservation, SWP, we've got a great deal for you right now. We're offering a fixed preferred lifetime storage rate of 0.5% per annum for gold and 0.95%, so just under 1% for silver for the life of your account there at SWP. What you need to do is you need to go ahead and open the account through us, buy metals, and fund the account through us between June 1st and August 31st of 2021. Get that done, and we'll fix that rate for the life at SWP. That sound right, Mark?
You nailed it, Rich.
All right. Thank you. Act now.